Hello, I just wanted to make a quick video on black versus gold tip steel. Would you believe me that this rabbit is not the same color as these two rabbits, and that these two rabbits are actually the same color, even though they don't really look it? Anyways, let's talk about it. So this here is called a self-black rabbit. This rabbit is black. It has a little bit of lighter undercoat under here, but still considered black. It'll have some lighter colored undersides to its paws. But the important thing to note here is that there is just no different color variations. I mean, the light is showing us this is the same color, I promise. The light out here is very overcast and rainy today, but he is, or she is, the same color all the way through. Shows a little bit of like lighter fading bits where the fur is not so thick, but again, this is one color. You can see here, little dude. Okay, so you see there's no rings around the eyes. And then this here, along its cheek, I know it's the sun, I promise it's the sun. He's kind of shiny looking. But he is one color all the way to, he's just one color all the way to the roots. So now let's look at one of the steels. All right, and here we see one of the steels, and these are both litter mates, but this here is a gold tip steel, and it looks very, very, very similar to the black, although now you can see some of the tipping coming in. This is not the sunlight, I swear. This is the fur changing color. Now, again, you're going to have similar colors to the roots here in this situation, but you can see the tipping coming in on this guy. You most noticeably see it on the ear bases. It'll show behind the neck, down the back a little bit, and then alongside the cheek down here, the neck. Let's see if I can get a better picture of that. So right here, under his ear here, you can see it also has more tipping there. And this is its litter mate. So here's this one we just talked about, and now here's this one. This one looks a lot more closer to this one over here. And there's not as much tipping. There's a very little bit going on back here. Again, like I said, a lot of this is the sun kind of like reflecting off the shiny fur. You can more noticeably see it. It has a little bit on its forehead right here. And then along the cheek area down here is more where I'll see a little bit more of the stronger tipping. There is some right here by my finger. So this one here, does show the gold tipping. It's the same color as this one. This one just has more of it showing. And then this is a self black. So although this is called a gold tip steel, as other steel variations are, Hidden Home Rabbitry refer to these as black mimic steels. I suspect, and I still haven't fully tested this yet, that these are rabbits genetically that are steel, so ES, and then their second gene is non-extension, which is a lowercase e. So ES and then little e. I suspect that the ones that look more like chestnuts, the steels that look more like chestnuts, are ES and then uppercase E. So ESE, but the second E is uppercase. But again, I haven't fully tested it. I do know the dad of these two is an orange. So he is non-extension. So lowercase e. And so he is the dad. The mom is a red-eye white or ruby-eyed white. So we call those roos. I did not know what she was at all, but all 7 of her biological babies are all this. All black mimic gold tip steels. Knowing that dad is little e, he is non-extension, 2 copies of non-extension, and he had to have passed that only gene that he could pass to these babies, and all of them are gold tip steels. I suspect my mama, although I can't see it because she is a roo, is a super steel. So she has 2 copies of the steel gene, ES. So that's what I suspect she is. So I think the entire litter is ESE, which is why they all look like self-blacks. They were born looking like self-blacks, and knowing that dad is orange. Orange falls on the agouti spectrum of colors, and it is dominant to both otter-based colors and self-based colors. Black is a self-based color, okay? So even if mom did carry the gene for self, all the babies look like this. At least statistically, 50% of the babies should have looked like a typical agouti, given that dad is agouti and he, would pass his agouti gene because it's very, very dominant. But all of them look like this. So I suspect that in steel itself, regardless of what variation of steel we have, the ones that look like chestnuts or the ones that look like blacks, the steels are agouti based themselves. Now, these guys don't show the agouti rings that many agouti based colors do, like chestnut or opal or lynx or amber or cinnamon, however your breed calls that color. But I would suspect that most of these would have gotten that agouti color, but the reason they all were born self-black, so I had a suspicion they were all going to be steels, and that mom was probably a super steel. And then as their fur now is coming in, you can see more the tipping coming in here. And then not all of them are going to have the same spread of tipping. As you can see, this one's a little bit heavier ticked, and then this one has not much at all. So there is a wide variation of how it expresses as well. So anyways, I just wanted to show how a black is different than a gold tip steel. And I promise you, these guys are a different color. They look super similar to their little friend over here, but they are a different color. And it's crazy how this gene just expresses itself.